In up front. Here's McDyess flashing to the top of the key. Now Nick fading away from 21. Maybe that's a good sign. Nick has struggled shooting the basketball of late. Mentioning off the top, this will be the final meeting of the year between these two teams. The mailman fading away.
Over Ostertag to finish that play. Wow, that was spectacular.
He almost banged his head on the rim. Karl Malone is fouled down low. If this is Danny's, and it is his second. In the striped shirts. 5 to shoot at McDyess, driving and a foul.
Here's John Stockton has pushed and shoved and jawed with a few people. He's known to irritate a few other point guards around the league.
A wide open shot by Hornacek is missed. Ostertag gives it back to Hornacek. Malone, and the shot won't go.
And in most years, that'd be around probably middle of the pack, maybe upper middle of the pack.
Yeah, you're right. Getting the roll is McDyess, so Antonio has his first bucket.
Fine.
He's third all time in free throws made. McDyess trying to work past Malone, stepped out of bounds.
You can see there Chauncey a little bit hesitant to take that ball up strong.
This is shirts and skins. Billups hangs on, and this layup he will make. Stockton to Malone, and contact. They're going to count the bucket. Yep, they will. And the foul is on McDyess. That is number 1 on Antonio.
I'll tell you what, Antonio came over to help and just stopped. He tried to get out of the way. Unfortunately, made a little bit of contact. The goaltender, the basket will count. But I thought McDyess did his best to really get out of the way.
Shot. Here's McDyess against Malone. He played so well in the win in Denver and over the top of Karl Malone. I think of all the guys Karl Malone plays in this league, he may have more problems trying to defend Antonio McDyess than anybody. Right. Here's Chauncey for 3. And the rebound, give it back to McDyess from Karl. Hornacek, quick release for 3, nothing but the cords. Break down Isley. Nick, double pump, and it was blocked from behind by Hornacek. Malone ahead of the field, broken up by McDyess, and then he runs into the crowd. How many times have we seen that this year?
Court, Karl here with a nice offensive rebound. Got a little bit lucky, it bounced to him, but finds McDyess quickly. And McDyess was sort of a little hesitation dunk.
Stockton and Malone, and a guy who's very, very good in Hornacek, as Malone on a late whistle is going to get a couple of free throws. Well, it was. Malone gives to Isley. That looked like a handoff. That was a cross buck.
That was a misdirection in football,
yeah,
wasn't it?
Exactly.
Recognizing he was getting double teamed, and then the Nuggets kicking it around for a good shot.
And Mack is bumped this time by Thurl Bailey. And that'll be a foul. Picks, and Adam Keith has the distinction of being the highest drafted player on this team, as Billups hands it off to McDyess. 10 on the shot clock, into McDyess. He spins, fades, and hits. Unstoppable. Antonio McDyess with a dozen. Lord Chauncey on a great drive, finding McDyess.
McDyess doing a good job recognizing double team, gets it back out to Chauncey, and Chauncey says, hey, I'll return the favor and get the ball back to you. And then McDyess here with a tough shot over the bigger Thurl Bailey. Actually had to gather himself.
He was a second-round pick, 54th selection out of Georgia. Well, 5 of 6 now. Johnny Taylor tried to follow up Taylor. 7-0 run as McDyess misses, gets his own rebound, and he throws it down from about 10 feet away. Nuggets within 4. Malone, he missed another one. He won't miss that, though. McDyess in deep, trying to drive past Malone. The extended finger roll was off. Stiff feeds McDyess. And the jump hook is good over Greg Foster. 55-44, our score at the break in Salt Lake City. But Karl Malone does not miss much time. Here's a turnaround jumper by McDyess and an easy rebound for Greg Ostertag. Stockton out there with Hornacek, and that man Malone count the basket. There's the silly foul that you talked about in the first half and Mike D'Antoni's talked about. Foul a moment ago was on Van Exel. Here's Hornacek, wide open look, and that's like a layup. Early in the game on a putback, Billups and McDyess. Here's the lob. McDyess catching fire right as the shot clock was about to expire. And Stockton loses the lock on the basketball. Numbers right. Van Exel running the break. Here's McDyess, and a good job by Utah getting back, and then they leave McDyess. He says, thank you very much. Not the guy you want to leave. Here's the mailman against Danny Fortson. Back to Stockton, it's 2. Here's Williams trying to answer. And Danny Fortson swatted at it. Malone has it. Here's Stockton on the fly. Off to Malone, scooting in, layup good. Vintage Utah Jazz basketball. Mike D'Antoni wants a timeout. Just like that, the Jazz have a 14-point lead. Stockton to Malone. 261. Every time the Nuggets get a sniff at getting close, Utah makes a play. Fadeaway jumper knocked down by McDyess. 63. Nicely doubled. Here's Malone. All kinds of time. Too much time. 14 shooting, so he had his last couple of shots. Here's McDyess, top of the key, splashes it through.
He looks really relaxed out there tonight.
Keon coming in. Look at the McDyess move down low.
Nice quick move over Malone. Malone a little bit short and doesn't jump as well. Easy bucket. And then here at the other end, nobody runs at Malone. And then the same thing for McDyess. Nobody runs at McDyess. Both being good players, Drew, they knock him down.
Screen for Malone. He slips it. Hornacek, oh man, right as the quarter ended. Jeff Hornacek, right as the quarter ended. No panic from the Jazz. All even with the Jazz in the third quarter. Unfortunately, when you're down 11 at halftime, that won't get it done. Malone, turnaround, good start for the Jazz in the fourth. Around the horn and back to McDyess, drives, layup, good. 26 in the game for Antonio McDyess. Stockton drives, gets to Thurl Bailey, slashes in, rejected by McDyess. There's the block shot from McDyess. McDyess 21 feet away, put it in the book. 82-76, back come the Nuggets.
They're in McDyess on the time before, he just hit the jump shot. The time before that, gets it, recognizes the double team, kicks it out, and then reestablishes on the post. Does a nice job of showing patience. You believe that or not?
I haven't heard that call in the NBA yet.
I don't think you will.
Heard moving screen, shot by Thurl Bailey. Thurl Bailey's had a big game. Their shooting percentage behind McDyess. And he has the basketball down low, and he will, oh, I thought he was going to tuck it away. He got a push from behind. Stockton gets a step back to Malone. And Karl cashes it on the gift wrap from Stockton. Getting close to crunch time. Here's McDyess with a step. Antonio rising above the crowd. Are you kidding me? Off of 2 feet. Get out of the way. Nuggets can get it to 4 again. Bounce pass into McDyess, and that one rolled out. Antonio will get a couple of free throws. Here is that slam a moment ago by McDyess.
You can see there comes to sort of the 2-foot jump stop. Most people would lay that up. McDyess with the great elevation and the extension just flushes that through the hoop.
Not Nick Van Exel here the last few minutes. Here's Malone, and he'll beat Keon Clark to the spot. Over, creeping over. Karl on a drive, the bump, and a foul on McDyess. Commander off the stiff. He's got to go up. McDyess out of the corner. Got it! Oh, man! And he was fouled.
That was a bit Jordan-esque, actually. Clutch shot in a clutch time. Getting the foul and hitting a tough outside jump shot.
And Malone picks up his 4th. I mean, McDyess just caught and fired that line drive style. And he makes good on the 3-point play. Here's Stith against Hornacek. McDyess turnaround, elevates right on the money. Are you talking about a zone tonight for Antonio McDyess? 16 of 24 shooting. Here's Malone, low block, hook shot, no good. McDyess another rebound. Nuggets can get it to one, maybe tie. Utah's gonna do, they're gonna get it to Malone. Karl steps away, rebounded Johnny Taylor. He didn't have the basketball. Now they get it to Antonio, 5 on the shot clock. Turn around, fade away, got it. Oh man, are you kidding me?
Guarding Malone.
Knocked away by McDyess. 9 on the shot clock. Hornacek, runner. No good, bodies all over the place. Stiff gets knocked down, finds Alexander. 4 players were on the deck.
Yeah, the refs have swallowed their whistles here. They're going to let the players decide the game, and I think it's a great move by the officials. I tell you, Hornacek looked like a bowling ball going through the middle there as 4 players hit the ground.
Into McDyess. McDyess drives, goes up, blocked. And with 4 seconds to go on the shot clock, the Nuggets will have to operate, and quickly. Alexander, the best three-point threat out there. And it's taken away by Malone.
Yeah, unfortunate because the Nuggets needed to get a 3. Dice hesitates a little, and Karl sort of unexpectedly reaches in because he could have just as easily gotten a foul, but knocks the ball away and makes a big play.
Karl Malone makes it a 5-point game. There is not a 5-point line on the floor, unfortunately. That is off. The game will go to the Utah Jazz, 94-89. The streamers come down, but the Nuggets nearly pulled the upset.